Sergey Young is a longevity investor and visionary with a mission to extend the healthy lifespan of 1 billion people. To do that, Sergey founded the 100 Million Longevity Vision Fund to accelerate breakthroughs in life extension technology and to make longevity affordable and accessible to all. Sergey is also on the board of directors for the American Federation of Aging Research and is the development sponsor for Age Reversal X Prize's global competition designed to cure aging. Sergey published his new book, The Science and Technology of Growing Young, in August 2021, which offers his perspective on what cutting-edge breakthroughs are on the horizon, as well as the practical steps we can take now to live healthily to 100 and beyond. And with that, let me start the interview. Hi, Sergey. You founded and run the largest longevity investment fund, Longevity Vision Fund, and you're also the author of the book, The Science and Technology of Growing Young. And your goal is to make longevity affordable and accessible to 1 billion people. So welcome to Modern Healthspan, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, Richard. I'm so excited to be here with you today.
Oh, thank you. So can you tell us, how did you develop the passion for longevity that you have?
Yeah, so on the personal side, the unfortunate reality that we all start to develop our interest to health and longevity with the personal health crisis. So for me, it was literally two cases. One is lung cancer case for my father. He survived. It was back in 2005, but the quality of his life has never recovered. It was obviously a very difficult time for the family. And for me, it was back in 2014. I've discovered I have extremely high cholesterol level. This is not unusual for this world. 32% of Americans have high or extremely high cholesterol level. Well, that's the nature of statistics, right? Nevertheless, so I had a choice to either to live on drugs, take drugs every day for the rest of my life, or try to change my health, my lifestyle, all my daily routines to become a healthier version of myself. So I choose to fight, and it was so great. Just in the course of 6 months, I changed completely in terms of my weight, in terms of my energy level, diet, physical exercise, supplementation, etc. And it was such an amazing experience. I basically rediscovered that our body has this amazing ability to heal certain diseases. You not always need to rely on medication and on drugs as well. So it's always a good support to the healthcare. Well, this is the whole thing started. And I thought if I want to share it with the world, the best thing to do is what I've done for the last 20 years, which is investments. So I set up a relatively small investment fund to support scientists and entrepreneurs to develop and bring much more affordable and accessible technology-based version of healthcare to the world.
Right. So why did you decide to write? So you decided to write the book to be able to, I guess, get the message out to more people.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So book-wise, yeah, it's been very interesting. So I have 3 degrees. One is chemical engineering, second is in banking and finance, and third in business administration in Warwick Business School. I have diploma from there. And I'm the man who's always trying to study something new. And I thought, well, shall I just do like a 4th degree? And I thought it's just crazy, right? And I thought just writing the book as a way to synthesize my knowledge and my experience in the field of longevity investment was like the best thing. And it truly was, and it truly is. So in the course of 3 years, I had like 50 interviews with some of the most brilliant minds. And you had them as your guests on your podcast, like George, Nir Barzilai, who is a very good friend of mine, Brian Kennedy, obviously, just telling the stories, like what is done in Singapore in the field of longevity science, but also longevity technology as well, like Peter Jackson, discussion on human avatars, and based on his movie experience, and about ethics of longer living and radical life extension. It was really just an amazing journey from one amazing person to another amazing person. We at Longevity Vision Fund, we're looking at 200 companies a year to invest in 10 of them. So the most difficult part of my job is actually saying no to entrepreneurs and to scientists. I really this is like the most difficult time thing, because I want to support everyone. And obviously the sense of investing is not in supporting everyone, just making choices. That's difficult. We'll come back to that. But overall, the whole idea was like, if we're looking at 200 companies a year, and we are allowed to the labs to speak to most amazing visionary entrepreneurs, scientists, regulators, government officials in this world in the field of longevity, I just wanted to share it with public and to create the excitement about what are the technologies which are waiting for us in the future, but also creating excitement about some of the changes that you can do right now, similar to my high cholesterol case, when I changed my daily life to become much healthier and happier.
Right. So could you share perhaps like some tips from the book as to what people could do now? And are these the things that you did? I mean, is this kind of directly synthesized from?
This is all my experience. So book is about technologies which are currently in development, which will be available in the next 10, 20 years. And I call it near horizon of longevity innovation. This is like the main body of the book. But what I've done, I always receive the question like, Sergey, well, 10, 20 years from now, this is great. We all gonna be excited. But like, what are you doing today? So what I've done, I wrote the bonus chapter. And it's bonus chapter about longevity choices that we all can make today. It's actually twice as long as any other chapter in the book. I think it's roughly around 35, 40 pages. So it's right in the end of the book. So for the interest of time, I always put it in kind of 5 longevity buckets. But just for the audience, number one, we need to realize that you need to work on so many parallel things to become healthier. It's not silver bullet. Human aging, human biology doesn't have like this magic switch which you can touch and then it solves all the problem. Human biology is so complex that it's always going to be a combination of things. That's number one. Second, because we're still at early stage of development of technologies and bringing data-driven, technology-based version of healthcare, a lot of these things are related to lifestyle change. So don't be surprised that, almost, 60, 70% of, all these changes that you can make, they still like, my mom told me that thing, but they are very important and they work. So 5 buckets. One, the most important for me is medical screening. We live in a world where early stage diagnostic of cancer, heart disease, diabetes can change your life. And early stage cancer diagnostic will give you recovery rates up to 90 or even 100% for most of the cancer types. Late stage diagnostic of cancer recovery rates are anywhere between like 10, 20, 30%. So cancer is not a case of that anymore. But this assumes that you do your medical screening as frequently as possible, obviously once a year, and you're in constant dialogue with doctor and with healthcare system to identify the risk and proactively address them. So we're talking about much more preventive version of medicine. And some of the technologies like 3 Tesla MRI or any other diagnostic tools and machines that you can use for medical screening is really amazing. So what I'm always saying is the most important day of your life every year is the day of your medical screening. My wife has a different idea of what is the most important day within the year, but that's important. So that's one. Mm-hmm. Second thing is what I call passive longevity, and this is polite version of it. The impolite is don't die stupid. Don't do stupid things like tobacco smoking is minus 10 years from your life. Not always using seat belts, it's minus 2 years from your life. Riding motorcycles is 17 times more dangerous in terms of mortality risk than driving the cars. And I know it all sounds obvious, but like we, and specifically like because of our hormonal construct, male part of population, it's usually taking more unnecessary risks. And I can just go on and on about some of my friends who's done so many kind of risky things, and some of them suffered a lot from that. So that's very important. Then the third one is about diet, and there's a lot of disagreement in the academic community what actually extends our lifespan. But there's one agreement that caloric restriction, decreasing the number of calories that you take every day, increase the healthy portion of your lifespan. Well, it's obviously easier to say than to do, because I'm also in love with food, and I like eating and drinking some wine. So what I do is I switch to much more plant-based diet. You don't need to become vegetarian or vegan. It's totally up to you, but like consuming mostly plants and plant-based foods, not processed, but relatively fresh. This is extremely important. So that, and obviously vegetables have such a lower caloric intensity. So on even like volume wise, it's if it's going to be the same intake for you in terms of the calories that you take, it's much lower than that. It's fasting. I do fast 36 hours a week. That's a lot, and you don't need to be as radical as I am. But just looking at this like a window fasting, intermittent fasting, it's also called this way, like not having food for 16 hours a day, and then put all your meals in 8 hours interval or even 6 hours interval. This can be helpful as well, like a way to manage your diet and the intake of food as well. So I kind of really like that. So some people like David Sinclair is saying we need to skip one meal a day. I'm all for it. Yeah, I know people who just say like even one meal a day should be fine. So it's it depends from your personal health conditions. You might want to check with your doctor, but like I actually found fasting is a really good way to support detox, autophagy, and manage the your caloric intake, and therefore addressing this third bucket. The fourth bucket is about physical activities. We all know importance of physical activities, and we don't have, just for the interest of time, we'll not spend a lot of time on that, but all you need to do just to complete like at least 2/3 of your agenda in this regards, use your wearable, whether it's Apple Watch or Whoop or Oura Ring, whatever you like, and measure 10,000 steps a day. Well, that's a great kind of baseline. That's a great start for you. And you can integrate walking in so many things in your life. So that's important as well. And on top of that, whatever you want to add, just add it. It's always great. I mean, if you don't go to extremes, but then it's becoming bucket number 2. So and then fifth, the final bucket, what I call peace of mind. And this is like, it's basically importance of mental or psychological health in addition to physical health. Because every time we talk about health, we tend to gravitate towards physical health. That's it. Really abandoning the interconnection of our mental construct and physical construct. So it is about sleep, mindfulness and meditation, and having sense of purpose, like sharing the best of you with the world, giving more than you take, and really enjoying the life, being grateful for the things. So that's my 5 buckets, like a shorter version of my protocol.
Right.